हाँ उनका प्रोफाइल के हिसाब से Hello and a very warm welcome to day 2 of TV9 Network and Red Hat Communications present World Travel and Tourism Festival. Thank you to all who have taken time out to be over here. And before we begin the proceedings for the day, let me thank all the sponsors of this mega event. Celebration partner, Royal Ranthambore, powered by Rosa Herbal Care. Style partner, Killer. Special partner, Hint. State partners, Gujarat Tourism, Karnataka Tourism, Telangana Tourism and Uttarakhand Tourism. Associate sponsor, Tata AIG. Partner, Sensodyne. Official EV partner, Ampere. Gifting partners, Kaya. Beauty products partner, Grandmother Beauty. Go Green Initiative partner, Ropan. Healthcare partner, Fortis. Hydration partner, Jal. Entertainment partner, PR Entertainment. Digital media partners, Daily Hunt and Indixital. Social media influencers partner, Explurger. Thank you once again to all the sponsors of this one-of-a-kind travel and tourism event by TV9 Network and Red Hat Communications, the World Travel and Tourism Festival. And on day 2, we have a very, very, very special person who's there here to begin the proceedings for the first travel talk, as we are calling it, or fireside chats, as they are called sometimes. So for the first travel talk, the topic is destination weddings. Say I do in paradise. Destination weddings, say I do in paradise, and who better than somebody from a hotel group that is iconic in its own way, even without hosting a wedding. It's a destination in its own way without hosting a wedding, and you can host weddings over there as a destination wedding wherever in India and all across the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Ritika Gupta, Vice President Sales, Indian Hotels Company Limited. Clearly, I had a mic left for me, I didn't realize. Okay, Ritika, first of all, great to have you with us over here.
Thank you.
To, begin proceedings in all earnesty on day 2 of World Travel and Tourism Festival. Ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, it goes on for another day tomorrow as well. Last night was the Papon concert, and we have the awards night tonight as well. So make sure, you catch that and you're here for that to see. And then, of course, we hope to see you back here on Sunday. But Ritika, destination weddings. I mean, when it comes to the travel and tourism industry, you can't underestimate the power and the contribution of destination weddings as means and end for a travel. Talk to us. You belong to a legacy in luxury, and something that has been defining luxury for generations now. What is it like, being part of that legacy and catering to today's consumer?
Thank you so much. I think, like you rightfully said, I think we are very blessed to have actually a very unparalleled legacy. We're almost 120 years plus now. And, from our first hotel, the Taj Mahal Palace, that opened up in 1903, to our youngest hotel that just is scheduled to open next week, I think we are creating memories of a lifetime for young couples, their families. When I say young, it's just young at heart. It's not about the age. It's not about the age. And creating memories of a lifetime for them, because, weddings are very special. You're always going to remember what you ate, what you drank, where it was, who was nice to you, how your makeup looked. And I think today we have third generation individuals who come to us who are planning their weddings with us. So I think it's a legacy that we uphold for India. In a very traditional society, they're very traditional still. And yet they're all the trappings of, what the modern world is all about. there's digital, there's AI, there's bespoke menus, all of that.
Can I ask you something? It's interesting in couples these days, go to a Taj for everything from a staycation to an engagement to a wedding.
That's
right?
true. And magical moments when you also go back and propose to your better half to be in that. So I think, it's just something that has happened very organically for us. So just to put it in perspective, think of a wonderful hotel like the Taj Lake Palace, Udaipur. It's 278 years old. It sits in the middle of Lake Pichola. It's magical. And there are many couples who have come there to just go back and initiate their life together. At one hand. On the other hand, you also have the wonderful beaches in Goa. And when I think about the couples who have solemnized their prayers in Goa, which is meant to be like, it is of course a very relaxed destination. But we take a look at Taj Exotica, or you take a look at the Fort Aguada or the Taj Holiday Village. There is a huge equity that I think our properties have. And that comes because of experience and of creating the memories for the clients. So I think it's a joint legacy. People, you want to be with us, you want to spend the time to build that connection with us, and I think it's both ways. I don't know if that answers.
No, it does. Of course, it's both ways. That's the beauty of it all. Taj has been loving catering to the Indian consumer. In fact, or for that matter, Indian consumer anywhere in the world.
Yes.
And at the same time hosting all sorts of hosts from across the world as well. And it's been a preferred choice from their end as well. I was telling you this before we got on stage. I grew up in Chennai. The Taj Kannada in Chennai was iconic, was a synonym for luxury growing up. So what you said totally answers what I was asking. The other thing I want to ask you is that, so since you're talking about the third generation and stuff, somewhere the numbers say that India spends over $100 billion a year.
Yes.
130 plus billion dollars a year.
Yes, we were discussing that.
We were discussing that, in weddings. And that is 1/6 of the global wedding market.
It is. So
a huge chunk of that in India goes to yours.
Yes.
So tell us in terms of what is changing really as far as weddings and destination weddings are concerned.
So, I think at the heart of every wedding, what a bride and a groom want remains the same. But I'm sure when you take a look at the way that the society is changing, perhaps 30, 40 years ago, the parents had a larger role to go back and choose what somebody would go back and eat, what they would feed their guests, how they would go back and welcome, what would be the rituals. Interestingly, the traditional aspect of the weddings is still there. But I think what is changing is that today, younger Indians are traveling the world. They are traveling India, so they are discovering what they would like for themselves. And they're very aware. So from the fact that some of them are very keen to make sure that every wedding that they do and everything for the wedding is very bespoke, but is also very mindful of the planet that we live in. So what are some of the green things that we are doing for that? Right from the way the menu is, they don't want very wasteful, kind of probably show and setup. To probably the other kind who want to go back and have very extravagant weddings, but with a lot of soul. And I think that is something that makes it very special for the families today. Plus, I think with India's growing, I would say, recognition on the global stage, right? The Indian diaspora, which is across the world and across the globe, is also coming back to India a lot more than it did to make sure that they are celebrating and are being together with families. So I think that is some of the things that we are seeing. From not everything is a big fat Indian wedding. Some people also like very intimate nuptials where they only want their very close family and friends. But they want to make sure that they go through all the rituals in a very considered manner. So they spend that time, I think, at some of our hotels to make sure that they leave the overall, arrangements to everybody else, and they can focus on what is really meaningful for them, which is the interactions with each other during that time.
Lovely, great to hear that the decision making is changing. So who you're marketing to is also changing because of that, I'm guessing.
So, the younger brides and the groom and their family, I think it's a family affair. It's not only one or two. But of course, I think there's always a tussle between the bride and the parents on how they would like to go back and see. And, from the color palette to the food or what they want to the gifts they'd like to give, how they would like to welcome their guests.
But there's a power shift.
There is a power shift. There is a power shift. I think, parents were always very accommodating of the children. And I think they are probably a little bit more indulgent now than they were in the past.
All right. Interesting to know that has ramifications in other things in the world as well. The other thing I want to ask is that, from what I understand, from what I hear, you are also coming up with a gateway brand.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit about that?
Actually, it's a young brand that has been launched earlier this year. Now, not this year, but sorry, because I'm in 2025, so last year. And Gateway, as the name suggests, is
Same
about the
financial-
gateway to destinations. Yeah, it's like a gateway to the destination. And, with the way India is actually really growing across the different micro markets, there are some beautiful destinations that are part of this brand. So, from a very wonderful hotel in Nasik, our Gateway Nasik Hotel, which is about spread in like 22 acres of land. So it's like the gateway to Nasik, which of course now everybody knows as the wine country. And of course we also go for it's our Napa Valley. From there to the beautiful, backwaters in Kerala in Bekal, which is a beautiful hotel called the Gateway Bekal. And it's set, right next to a lagoon. So there are destinations which are very synonymous with who they are. And I think it also allows younger India, which is in different cities, to get a lot more familiarized with, because, weddings are happening everywhere. People are traveling everywhere. It's not that it's just in Delhi or Mumbai. And I think that's what makes the Gateway brand a very, very special brand for us. And, I think the hotels also go back and pride themselves on creating and crafting wonderful memories, which are very rooted in who they are in the destinations that they are.
I'm curious to know this, when it comes to weddings, the approach to a wedding is very different, within the country. And I'm sure it's different, by Indians who are diaspora Indians. What are can you tell us some of the curious differences that you saw, in the way destination weddings happen at Taj Properties in the north and the south of the country?
Yes, we discussed this also. I think what is happening is, there's of course a lot of culture that moves and a lot of traditions that move between the various parts of the country. But I think the north has a lot more colorful and probably a lot more larger and I would say a lot more weddings which are around the various senses, which includes the dancing and making sure that, there are a lot of rituals like that. Similar rituals are there in the south as well. But I think there it's a lot about, you see...
Being understated?
Yeah, that's what you said. So yes, they're not all understated. See, I think it depends on the people and the family and how they and their friends are and what they want to kind of go back and create for themselves. So it's very interesting. As I was driving over here today, I was noticing, that there are tulips in the city of Delhi all over now. And I was noticing that there are videos which are being made, and that's why it was quite interesting to see the beautiful women and, very stately young men on Shanti Path, and they're just walking down, and you could see videographers behind them. So the thing is that for India today, there are dreams and memories being created everywhere. So I wouldn't want to call it a north and a south at all, but I think there are culture and traditions in both sides which are very interesting. And I think as India
which market is more booming?
Which part is just...
Which market is the most...
Is booming. It's across the country.
Okay.
Think about it. I mean, look at...
National unity is there in
National
this.
unity is there everywhere. Even the Prime Minister said you should do your I do's in India, and I'm sure you've seen the Incredible India campaign around that. And it beautifully showcases the various, even the Northeast. I mean, there are a lot of people who want to go, and there's a very, very active search which people want to go back and do in some of those very exotic locations. Some people just want to get off the flight and get into a hotel, and some people want to make sure that the journey is a little longer. So, it's par for the course for everyone.
Fantastic. It's great, talking about this with you, Ritika. I've understood so much about, destination weddings and the wedding market per se in the last 15 minutes than ever before. Thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here at the World Travel and Tourism Festival. Great to be speaking to you. Ladies and gentlemen, huge round of applause for Ritika Gupta.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
May I take that? Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, time now for the second travel talk of day 2 of World Travel and Tourism Festival. Before we move ahead, a quick shout out to our sponsors, celebration partner Royal Ranthambore, powered by Rosa Herbal Care, style partner Killer, special partner Hint, state partners Gujarat Tourism, Karnataka Tourism, Telangana Tourism, Uttarakhand Tourism, associate sponsor Tata AIG, partner Sensodyne, official EV partner Ampere, gifting partners Kaya, beauty products partner Grandmother Beauty, Go Green initiative partner Ropan, healthcare partner Fortis, hydration partner Jal, entertainment partner PR Entertainment, digital media partners Daily Hunt in Digital, social media influencers partner Exploger. Thank you to all the sponsors. Time now to introduce the Travel Talk 2. Wonder Women, travel safe, travel smart. Wonder Women, travel safe, travel smart. And for this travel talk, let me please invite up on stage Archana Singh, travel vlogger and director, Only One Travel. Thank you so much for being with us, Archana.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you, Archana, for being with us. Ladies and gentlemen, this session has been sponsored by Asigo. Our sponsor for this session is Asigo. We have Archana Singh, travel vlogger and director, Only One Travel.
Thank you for having me over here.
Right, Archana, the first thing I have to ask you is this. First of all, tell us about your own journey as a travel vlogger. Where did it begin? How did it begin?
So, it's actually like you or like so many people out here. I was in the corporate world like everybody else. I did my graduation, MBA, did the corporate stint. And until 2016-17, I was working full-time. I was based in Singapore and Philippines, working for Coca-Cola that time. But travel was always there. I come from an army background. So my dad was in army. So every week we used to travel. So it was something like which just didn't happen overnight. It was there from the school days, college days. I used to be the one who used to plan all our trips all around. So, but in 2017, I took the plunge. I thought, okay, this is it. Everybody would be watching cricket. So in cricket, like you have second innings, which is like your starting point, You forget everything which could have been in the first inning. Similarly, I thought it's the time I should take a risk. So I quit my career, came back to India and started traveling full time. So travel, writing, vlogging, blogging or Instagram, social media, all that is a byproduct. What was it was I loved exploring destinations. I love, getting to know different cultures.
And you did all of this alone?
Oh, absolutely. So how it happened was, like in my life, there's nothing more important than travel. Like I have sacrificed a lot for travel. It's not a hobby. It's not an escape. It is something deeper than that, So you would not get company. So what do? Do you wait for other peoples to join in? I wouldn't. So I, started traveling. And it's been like I've been to all the 7 continents, 107 countries, all by myself. And people say that travel is an expensive hobby. But no, it's not if you plan really well.
Right. One is how expensive it is, and the other is how safe it is to do it alone. Just on the top of your head, your top 3 countries where you felt the safest when you were traveling.
Okay,
Alone.
so firstly, I would like to say that, it is the television. I'm sorry to say that, like I'm on a program which is hosted by a TV channel, but it's the media who kind of creates that negative narrative that the world is not safe. Rather, I would say that, it's very, very safe out there, and especially if you're a solo female traveler, people are even more careful with you. So for me, what has happened is I've always felt that the 99% of the people, they would rather help you than hurt you. So I always feel that, whichever country I might be visiting, whether in Africa, Asia, Europe, I've always felt safe provided you take some precautions. Now, asking about the safest countries, so I would say Antarctica, because there are no humans, right? Then, but if we leave that continent aside, yeah.
I didn't expect that answer.
Yeah. I would say Japan. Japan is really, really very safe, very organized for female travelers. And if you go near...
It's safe during earthquakes as well.
See, natural calamities can happen anywhere. But, if you keep that aside, the country is amazing. The level of honesty there, it's like it blows your mind. I had forgotten something when I was going to my hotel, and the next day I found it there only, which is like, you can't even think in any other part of the world. So first is Japan. Second, I would say Sri Lanka, our neighbor, is very, very safe. Singapore is very safe. And Europe, if you leave aside the popular places like the whole region of Balkans, Baltics, they're all very safe, yeah.
Interesting. That's the part of Europe that I haven't been to. I know, and you're telling me that's the safest. But tell us, you're saying that, it's safe as long as you take some precautions.
Yeah.
What are those precautions to travel safe and smart?
Okay, so firstly, what I do is, you would be probably the unsafest in the accommodation you choose. So I pay a lot of attention where I am staying. So these days, thanks to TripAdvisor, Google reviews and all, it has become very easy to figure out the place where you're staying. So I would always choose the accommodation basis, the reviews, reading about it, spending time, what kind of property it is. So for me, I'm okay to spend a little bit more money, but the safety is the must. I want to sleep in a safe place. So one is the accommodation. Second is I always share my whereabouts, like my itinerary, my local connections in the country where I'm going with my connections back home. Like they should always know where I am. And, before visiting any country, I always find out a local connection through my friends, through my networks, so that they can guide me, the places which I should explore, which I shouldn't explore. So I would say that keeping your folks back home and, having a local connection really, really helps. Then also following the basic, rules and regulations of that country. So I think that goes handy, yeah.
Tell us, what do you do with your company, Only One Travel?
Sorry?
What do you do with your company? How do you, use your travel expertise, and what does your company provide consumers?
Okay. So, I come from both the marketing as well as from the consumer point of view. So the reason why I got on board with this company is, I've known the owners for a really long time. It's a Japanese company. It's a Japan-based company. So we are into luxury travel experiences. So from all around the world, be it Japan, be it Antarctica, Greenland, Svalbard, Africa. So we provide these transformative experiences. It's not about sightseeing, it's not about tick-marking destinations, but it's about having those unique experiences, that have the power to change you as a person. So that's what, has been my forte also when I was in brand management or when I was traveling myself. So I am in charge of designing some unique products and selling them to the people who are interested in that. So yeah, that's what I do.
And what are the big trends you're witnessing in that segment?
Okay, that's interesting. So one big trend that I have observed over the years is like earlier, you used to divide travelers on the basis of, okay, he's a luxury one, he's a foodie, he's an adventurer, he likes city life. All that is becoming obsolete now. Now a traveler could be like he would love to splurge in a very beautiful hotel, but at the same time, he could be roughing it out in a camp. Like he would want to have a great, food experience. So nowadays, what is happening is those demarcations, those lines, they are blurring. A customer wants everything. So one is that trend that I have seen a lot, and it is irrespective of all age groups, So people want more value. Not just in terms of the price, but in terms of experiences. And second thing is, Asia is becoming really big, and thanks
Where in Asia?
Actually, China and India, both the countries, they're really, really big. I was recently at this conference called Adventure Travel World Summit in Panama. And there, everybody who's big in the adventure field, they were all there. And one of the presentation, the keynote presentation, it said that if you are not focusing on Asia, you are missing the future. So yeah.
Wow, very interesting. And you're saying this for luxury travel and tourism.
Luxury, and I'm talking about like
transformative experiences.
Yes. And the people who were there, like in that conference, most of the people were from Latin America and then the rest of the world. So imagine, Latin America is so far away and they would not think about Asian customers. But suddenly, when they heard this, so their gears are also changing now. So
you
far
mean
away.
to say that it's Indians who are doing the traveling to doing these transformative experiences, they are becoming, not like people are coming into India.
So it's like both, inbound and outbound,
So what are the transformative experiences that people are coming to India for?
So mostly people have been coming for health and wellness, and then also the kind of festivals that we are having like Kumbh and all other. So India is famous for spirituality, food, and all the old world, luxuries and all that. So people usually come for that. Unfortunately, over the years, the inbound is not doing as well as it should have done for the reasons we all know why that's happening. But outbound India is booming. Outbound is really doing well. Yeah.
And where are Indians, choosing the top 3 destinations for transformative experiences?
Okay, that's interesting. So usually, I won't say that they come to us, saying we want a transformative experience. That's a word which we use.
That's business.
Yeah, that's a business word. The consumers don't use it. But usually when they come, I'll give you an example. India is still driven majorly by attractions. For example, right now, the bookings to Japan, oh my God, we are refusing bookings. We are not taking any bookings because everybody wants to see cherry blossom. Everybody wants to go to Kyoto, to see the Zen feeling and to, get into the Japanese Zen culture. And then Finland, like all these Scandinavian countries. So India is still quite big on attractions, like especially these bucket list attractions, but people are also choosing wildlife, because when they go in nature, when they go to near the places where there's no shore and all that, they come back with a very, very big energy that they bring to their work and to their life. It's like rejuvenation for them, so yeah.
Interesting choices by Indians. Tell us, the thing is that now travel, once upon a time it used to be like, okay, you get married and you go on a honeymoon and then you go on travels. Now increasingly people are giving up everything in life to just travel and be with themselves.
Absolutely.
And tell us in terms of solo women travelers, what has been the kind of increase in the recent past?
Okay, this is very interesting. So, I thought solo travel for women was majorly for younger women. But I was so wrong. I was really, really wrong. So recently, I went to Antarctica. And I was amazed to see that the largest number of people over there was solo travelers. And there were women as young as in their 20s and till a women who was like 85 years old. There were like all these women from all around the world, and they said, we don't have to wait for anybody, we're going to do it. And this was not just in Antarctica. Like when I was in Iceland, there was another woman who was an Israeli, and she said, my only regret in life is that I started traveling solo very late. First I waited for my husband, then my kids, and I realized that I wasted too much time. So I think women across the world, across geographies, across different age brackets, they're all traveling, because they've realized there's so much more to life and there's so much that you can do there, and they really don't need to depend on their families to travel.
And that means that, so many are taking to it for the first time. So many first-time solo travelers and across age groups. What is your message to them? So many who are sitting on the fence, wondering when will be the right time.
Yeah. So, like I said, people say that the world is not safe. It's actually very safe, if you go out. A stranger would not do you as much harm as a known person could do that. That's the truth.
That's interesting.
So, yeah. So, first is that, don't be so cynical about the people around you, especially strangers. Give them a benefit of doubt. But at the same time, take your brains with you. Don't just be a juvenile and, don't just think that, people are not going to take you for granted. Pay little attention to the small things and start slow. It's not necessary that you have to go on a world tour in a go. Start with the locations which could be nearby to your places. Do your research well. Speak to the people who have been to those places. Read reviews. There's so much information these days, and just go for it. Nothing should be stopping it. It's always the first step, which is the most difficult. And when you start traveling solo, then you realize that how much enriching it is. The discussions that you have, the meetings that you have when you travel solo are far deeper than, when I have done it when I'm with my family or my friends or my colleagues, I felt I've been able to connect more deeply with the destination when I'm traveling solo.
And now you have so many of these associations and groups and customized travel itineraries for solo travelers, in which it's not like exactly you're going alone. You're going with a bunch of people who are also traveling technically alone.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, it's not so big in India, but there are a few companies, which are already bringing solo women travelers and making them travel together. But globally, it's quite big, I was in Patagonia, and there I met a group of 25 women from age group from 25 to 75, and they didn't know each other. And they were traveling for 3 weeks in Latin America, all by themselves. And by the end of the trip, they'd all become very, very big friends of each other. And they were all doing all the adventure activities. We think in our mind that, when you cross 60 or when you are above 70, you're going to do only leisure travel. But that's not the truth. Now people are actually pushing their own limits. So yeah, one should just go out and, if you are scared to choose to go solo by just yourself, sign up for these tours, which are there, which are plenty of them. So,
Not enough in India, unfortunately.
There are some companies who do it. And then what happens is there are so many solo travel bloggers. You can always reach out. Sometimes they also create these, group tours. For example, I have been requested so many times. So now I am launching my couple of trips, which I'll be taking.
Oh, interesting. Now that you're telling us this much, tell us what are those trips and where are those trips to?
Okay, so those are going to be a little exclusive and the destinations which are very close to my heart. So there's going to be one trip to Japan's Hokkaido in winter because it just blows your mind when you go there and see it in winter. It is something you would have not seen before. Then there is a trip to Greenland. I think Greenland is a destination which just, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. For 7 days, you're completely cut off from your mobile network, from not seeing any other person, just you and nature. So it was just out of the world. So second is that trip, then Svalbard and Kenya and some other trips that I'll be doing. But these are the major ones, yeah.
Fascinating. Talking to you, Archana. Thank you so much. I'm afraid we've completely run out of time over here. Thank you for being with us and thank you for taking part in this festival and also letting us know so much about destinations that, like, whether you're solo or not, you should explore. Ladies and gentlemen, huge round of applause for Archana Singh. Archana, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Lovely talking to you. Take care. Should I?
International in December. And I just want to add a lot of countries to my list.
Lot more countries to my list. What is your dream destination?
That's an interesting question. Thank you for the question. So as I have traveled as a child, I'm a national level athlete. So I used to go for competitions all over India. So I got to travel a lot. And when I traveled abroad to UK, Ireland, what I tried to find was parallels between my own culture and that of the nation that I'm traveling to. So to answer your question, I'm always finding my country in other countries as well. So my dream destination is India.
Fascinating. Dream destination is India. So much of Indians now taking to traveling
Yes.
within India. But tell us, what is it like to travel as a beauty queen, travel like a celebrity, so to speak?
I never thought I would get that question, but to travel like a celebrity, as you said, it's about responsibility. I would say it's not only about luxury, it's not only about brands, it's about the responsibility you uphold. When I was training for my pageant, this is something that I learned, that the attitude comes before the crown comes. So you have to treat yourself like a queen. You have to walk like a queen before you get the crown. So traveling like a celebrity is being open to new experiences, being so rooted in your culture, because when you go to another country, you carry your culture with you. And knowing your culture deeply, for instance, why do we say namaste? It's such a common thing that we do, but to know the significance of it, like we touch our thumbs on a chest. So it is like respecting the other person. My soul respects your soul. So this is such simple thing, but so profound. So to be deeply connected to your culture and knowing that you have the responsibility to represent yourself and your nation is like traveling like a celebrity.
You know, many people, when they say travel like a celebrity, they would have in their minds how to have like the most, exciting, at the same time luxurious, at the same time peaceful, all of it put together.
Yes.
In the best hotels, in the best travels possible. So in that sense, what does, what does luxury mean to you in travel?
Luxury. Oh, that's an interesting question. So luxury to me is being comfortable. So it not only comes from brands, but it also comes when you travel, when you're comfortable. And that's not just the best hotel you're staying or the best experiences you're having. It's about being comfortable in your own skin and being proud of yourself, and not just collecting memories for the camera roll, but enriching your own soul, as you said. So luxury is when you have experiences that not only enrich your life, but the lives of others around you, the stories that you share. That is, when you have all of these memories, your life becomes richer, and that's luxury.
So creating the greatest memories is the biggest luxury.
Yes, yes.
I wanted to ask you this. Are you somebody who likes traveling in a group? Are you like somebody who likes traveling solo?
So I took a solo trip in Ireland. I've also traveled with my friends when I was doing my master's. So I have traveled both ways, but I've found that I enjoy solo traveling more because I am more one with the nature, and also I make friends wherever I go. So I do have people that I still call when I was in Ireland. So yes, solo traveling is something I like.
Solo traveling, and that trend is rising, isn't it? Young women
Yes.
who are opting to choose to travel alone.
Yes, yes, definitely. And I hope it grows even more, because to travel solo it takes a lot of confidence and courage, because you're on your own. You make your own decisions, and also it is an opportunity to know your own self deeper. And that's what we all need.
To know yourself deeper. Tell us also, you're talking about being responsible.
Yes.
So, especially in the Gen Z and youth, there's lots of consciousness about ecotourism, being one with nature, and more importantly, not littering, not making the place dirty, being, environmentally conscious while traveling.
Yes, definitely it's the need of the hour. So, as I mentioned earlier, I was studying in the hills last year. So, I have had an experience where people came and littered in the mountains and even here. So, it is not something that should be encouraged, and there should be more awareness about it. And it's not only about the way you're educated, but the way you behave, your mannerisms, your etiquettes is what comes into play. So creating more awareness around this subject, because people do it unconsciously. Being conscious of our own actions is something that could really stop this issue.
And the big shift right now is that travel is right now no more a hobby. It's a top priority for people in life as one of the main things that they want to have,
Yes. So I know a lot of travel bloggers all around the world that I follow for travel inspiration, for the best tips. And as I said, that it is about collecting experiences. It's about making memories, and who wouldn't want a life where you have so many experiences to share, so many memories to make. So I'm not really surprised that people see it as a career option, because you are living and you're growing as you go and touching so many lives along the way, making new friends. So, yeah.
So when you travel, do you also Instagram a lot? Do you also social media a lot?
So we live in the age of social media, and my work is such that I have to be connected to a larger audience. But I'm very conscious about what I put out and how I use social media. So whenever I'm traveling, I make it a point that I'm present in the moment. The people that I'm connecting with I give them 100% attention. And yes, I do click pictures. I film my camera roll, but it's not until after I have come back from my trip that I post them or look at them. So I try to immerse myself as much as I can in the moment, and give the people around me the respect that they deserve. Because when somebody is talking to you and you're on your phone, that is something I do not like myself. So I make it a point that I do not do it as well.
Fantastic. Can you tell us your favorite travel memory?
My favorite travel
Your
memory.
favorite holiday that you've taken in your life so far?
Okay. So there are many travel
But
stories.
I'm asking for one which is like, will be your all-time favorite.
So one that comes to my mind, it's actually, I was visiting my sister, and we planned a very last-minute trip to London. And that was the first time I was in the UK, and it was such a great experience, because I saw so many of my own people there. There were so many Indians, and we created our own community over there. And we were sharing our culture over there, be it through food, our traditions. It was around Diwali, so I celebrated Diwali in London with Indians. So it was a different feeling altogether, and we went to many carnivals as well. So I saw what Winter Wonderland looks like. So being close to family and making a family over there as well is what really stood out for me in this trip. So that is my favorite trip memory.
If I were to ask you, going forward, where all would be your top bucket list destinations that you want to try, which would those be?
My top bucket list. So as I said, that I do want to know my own country deeply, because the more you're rooted with your own culture and your own traditions, the more you grow and go forward in life. So one of my destinations are from India. It's Kashmir, because I want to experience Kashmir not just in spring but in winter as well. I've heard it's a winter wonderland, and I really want to go there. And another place, since Mahakumbh is happening, I want to be in Prayagraj. and take in and soak in all the spiritual vibes as much as I can. So these two places are on my bucket list.
Wonderful, Radhika. We've completely run out of time over here. Radhika Singhal, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us. Ladies and gentlemen, huge round of applause for Radhika Singhal, Miss Tourism International 2024. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Right, thank you for being with us. And this session has been powered by ITC. Thank you to ITC for powering this session. 1 second, Radhika, please stay with us. There's a small token of appreciation that we have for you. Big round of applause for Radhika Singhal, please. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Please. All right, time now for Travel Talk 4 of the day. Travel Talk 4 is cruise tourism and destination diversification. Cruise tourism and destination diversification. And for that, we have Ms. Ratna Chadha, CEO, Tyrant Marketing, joining us. Ratna Chadha. Welcome. Ratna Chadha, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us over here at the World Travel and Tourism Festival by TV9 Network and Red Hat Communications. I want to begin by asking about the all-important cruise tourism industry, which went through a lot during the pandemic and has recovered so much and doing so much well. But tell us, as far as Indians are concerned, how have you seen the trends pan out for cruise tourism?
So Indians are, firstly, thank you for having me here. And having been in the industry, in the hospitality and tourism industry for some 47 years, that's more than half my lifetime, with 32 years in the cruise business. My personal perception is that Indians are no less than anybody else in the world. We are on a global platform. We are international and very discerning travelers. We have the disposable and the discernible incomes now, as we are now trajectorying to the third largest economy. Hopefully we'll get there sooner than later. And people want newer experiences, especially post-pandemic, where they wish to travel with their family, friends, and spend quality time. Today, the only perishable, if I may say, is time. And one needs to take cognizance of that. And I think more and more people want to now take breaks, frequent breaks, maybe shorter breaks, instead of doing the 2 long hauls that happened pre-pandemic. People are now wanting to be out more often with their family and their loved ones and spend as much time. So I think the work-life balance is coming into play, and pandemic taught us work from home. So you name it, people now have that, they're finding the time to do things that they want to do. And cruising is coming up in the category. Of course, if you compare us to our counterparts in the world over, I think we still, because we don't have so many brands in our backwaters, we still are a little unaware and weary, and apprehensive, but the aspirational level is very high.
What are the top cruise travel destinations for Indians?
Whatever they fancy. For the adventurous, it's the Antarctica, it could be the Arctic, it could be Galapagos for the nature lovers. If you want fun, it's the Caribbean. You want to see natural beauty, it's the North Europe or Alaska. So it's whatever you fancy. It becomes, I mean, for me, it's a personal choice. It's a personal choice. So I can't, and Indians are a very, very diverse cultural lot of people. We are diverse in our food, in our habits, in our, the way we think, the way we dress. So it really depends on what your interests are and what is it at that point in time that you wish to do. What is the focus? Is it multi-generational travel? Is it your children? Is it just couples? Whatever you fancy becomes top of mind and of interest.
I was just curious to see if any one particular destination was being loved by many for their repeatedly going there.
So Mediterranean seems to be a very vast choice for 2 reasons. A, it's not as far as the US, the distance, the duration, and B, visas are getting easier. You see, Indians, unfortunately, travel is cumbersome from our country. And it's not like just get up one night and say, that this is where I want to go. You've got to get a visa for that country. So you may have a valid US visa, but you may not have a visa for Alaska, which needs a Canadian, you may not have a Canadian visa, which Alaska needs. So how do you get up and go? So Mediterranean is an easy choice because there's a 1 visa regime.
I'm asking because this travel talk is also about destination diversification. So in that sense, it has become more diversified simply because people are willing to explore newer and newer destinations and not just the traditional ones, isn't it?
Anything that's new and exotic, I think, is now top of line. And also, the company that I represent, which is Royal Caribbean Cruises and its 4 brands, we own islands. We have converted those islands into holiday vacation destinations with the entire gamut of perks. You don't get any of that on land. So people want to include those itineraries in where the private islands are included. That's number 1. Number 2, exotic destinations that are difficult to do on your own, where it's difficult for you to travel, they want to do on the cruise because we handhold everyone and do the entire experience. Whatever it is, it needs to be seamless, it needs to be experiential, and of course it needs to be value for money. And there's no other category in the hospitality industry or in the travel industry that can give you all of these together.
Also, the way people are approaching travel is the reason why newer and newer destinations are finding acceptance, isn't it? Because once upon a time, it was all about going to that famous restaurant in France or the particular monument in Italy. But that's not the case anymore, especially because there are so many other kinds of tourism like adventure tourism and experiential tourism. That is, what would be your advice to travelers who are looking to diversify where they usually travel?
So my advice would be that try a cruise if you haven't already, because A, the world is filled 2/3 with water, and if you haven't cruised, then what have you done? Number one. Number two, we own mobile assets. Okay, our ships can ply anywhere. It's in the Mediterranean today. We find that North Europe is picking up. We can move our ships there. Of course, they have to be accessible to that destination. So we have the ability to bring newer destinations to you. You don't have to go to the destinations. That's the advantage of being on a cruise. And it's not just today. Cruising is basically an asset, or it's an experience where the destination comes to you. You're only traveling on that same equipment, on the same vessel, on the same ship, and the destination comes to you every morning. What better than that? You don't even need to pack and unpack. You're there. So
Logistically, the best option possible.
logistically, experientially, economically, and let's say hassle-free.
Hassle-free is what everybody wants, and cruise offers you that. And that is the reason why you say, if you haven't cruised, what have you done with life? Ratna Chadda, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us over here at the World Travel and Tourism Festival. Ladies and gentlemen, huge round of applause
Thank
for
you,
Ratna Chadda.
thank
Thank you
you,
so much.
thank you.
Just hold on the stage for a second. We have a token of appreciation for you. Thank you so much. And time now for the final travel talk of the day. Travel Talk 5, Culinary Travel Talks. That is Travel Talk number 5, Culinary Travel Talks. And for that, we have a very special gentleman joining us. We have Chef Davinder Kumar, President, Indian Culinary Forum. Chef Davinder Kumar, please take the stage. Chef Davinder Kumar, thank you so much for being with us here at the World Travel and Tourism Festival. I'm going to begin by asking you this. These days, when I want to travel, the first thing I can think of is, whatever destination I choose, what will I eat there? It's a traditional Indian way of asking, "Khaoge kya?" वो सब तो ठीक है, तो खाओगे क्या? So food has become like a fulcrum around which holidays are planned these days, and food has become the gateway through which you understand a place and a culture?
Well, at the outset, I'm very delighted to be addressing audience here and congratulate Red Hat Communication for organizing such a big event, our World Travel and Tourism Festival. And thank Mrs. Mehal for inviting me to be part of this discussion. Well, very rightly you see that, having been in the industry for over 5 decades, you see, I have seen drastic changes over the years. And very true, you see that when you travel for leisure, pleasure. Today you talk about adventure tourism, you talk about ecotourism, you talk about wellness tourism, anything. But one thing is very important, which plays an important part, is your food. And food is an integral part of travel and tour, right? And when you especially go abroad, you want to explore local cuisine. You want to eat that food which has not been seen in your own country. So I think the changes which I have seen over the years is that because food and travel go hand in hand, right? So when you travel, the food comes to your mind, you see. Recently I was in Australia, visited a couple of places there. One of the things which I wanted to was the food, the local cuisine, And there have been many instances that, and it was wonderful seeing, because you see, of course you see the beaches, you see the nature, you see buildings, you see heritage and so on and on. So I think food is an integral part, as I said, of travel and tourism. And today, traveler wants, whether you are traveling abroad or people coming to India to travel, they want to see those unexplored destination, and India is promoting that.
And tell us, once upon a time, there was not that much knowledge about what local food is. Like in a country, say for example, South India, people knew only idli and dosa. But now there is so much more knowledge about all the dishes. So in that sense, it's becoming very specific, isn't it? When you travel somewhere, you're not only having the food of the state or the country, but that food of that city or that town or that district. So in that sense, it's become very specific.
I like to touch upon, Indian cuisine has evolved over the years, you see, if I go back 5 decades ago or more, and today, Indian food wasn't so much popular, whereas in totality, right? And India, say so much of diversity in Indian cuisine, you see. When you travel from one place to another, say 150 kilometers, 100 kilometers, language changes, their preferences changes, their eating habits change. So is the cuisine also, right? That was a time when the food all over the world, Indian food, was known as curry or tikka and not beyond that. But today, Indian cuisine has been accepted globally, right? Right? So today, when you see abroad, there are so many Indian restaurants who have got Michelin star today. And food has been elevated to that level thanks to our colleagues and friends, chefs like Atul Chokar, Vineet Bhatia, Vikas Khanna, that today food has, because food earlier we were always, around, whether it was Murg Mumtaz or, Murg Afghani or Paneer Lavada. But today, food has been elevated to another level. That's why food today, restaurants have got Michelin star. They were never earlier. Today, whether it's US, UK or Europe Even in Dubai, that part you find, I was reading about the Avatar restaurant, which is a purely vegetarian Indian restaurant in Michelin star guide. So having said that, likewise, food in our country has also evolved, you see. There has been a tremendous change. What it was 5 decades ago and today. There was a lot of simplicity, right? And the resources were limited, ingredients were not available, technology was not there. Over the years, when you see the trends now, in India, with of course palate changing, preferences changing. If I talk about Indian food, it began with that traditional Indian food that it got classic and then got fusion cuisine and nouvelle cuisine and now modern, and then again going back to tradition. The biggest change which I find today is that, as I said, that it's been globally accepted is that regional food has become popular. The travelers who are coming to India, besides that we have culture, heritage and nature and so much to see this country offers. Food is integral part, very, very important. That, as I said, this is the only country in the world which has so much of diversity in cuisines, more than 28, right? And each cuisine has a history, and each dish has a story, and every bite it touches your emotions and soul, and that's what typical. So India is rich in cuisine. So I think traveler also today, they come here not to eat the chicken tikka makhani which I've been taking. They want to explore unexplored destination. And today, India has a hub of culinary. Whether you talk about Delhi, it's from Delhi offering Delhi street food to coastal cuisine, or Rajasthan, or Gujarat, or any part of it. Those regional, that authentic cuisine, I would say that.
Authenticity is the name of the game when it comes to food these days, because we've gone back to the original local and the original from the soil with the stories. I'm afraid we can continue talking like this for an hour, but we have completely run out of time over here. Chef Davinder Kumar, thank you so much for with us.
I would just take 2 minutes more.
Okay.
I just want to tell the audience that, you see, how things have evolved, I've traveled widely abroad, many countries I've seen, their cuisine and culture and everything. In India also, right, during NAM, I was executive chef at the Oberoi Intercontinental, now called the Oberoi. We had entire hotel booked for heads of states, you see. The focus was on international cuisine, or the cuisine they desired. But today, when I talk about G20, recently we had heads of states and heads of organizations staying at Le Méridien, New Delhi, where we only promoted regional cuisines. And they were so fascinated, they were so impressed, and they were surprised to see that Indian food is beyond that dosa and Italy. So I want to say that the way travel and tourism is growing, I find no reasons the cuisine also would grow in that, whether it's wellness cuisine or regional food and so on.
So much more to grow as far as culinary exploration is concerned.
I'm sorry I'm taking 2 minutes. I'm also representing Indian Culinary Forum today here, which is first and the largest Chefs Association of India. We are doing culinary demonstration here, master classes by senior chefs. There are 2 sessions. There is one taking place. I would request dear audience to see chefs demonstrating their skills. One is now, one is around 6 o'clock today. And tomorrow also there are 2 sessions. It's rare to see top chefs coming out of their busy kitchens and demonstrating culinary skills. So this is a request to all audience here. Please visit stall here right at the beginning next to THSC. where master classes are being hosted by celebrity chefs. Thank you.
Requesting all those to visit the Indian Culinary Forum. But for now, Chef Davinder Kumar, thank you so much for being with us. Big round of applause for Chef Davinder Kumar.
Thank you very much.
Just stay with us. We'll give you our token of appreciation. All right, before we wrap things up, a big shout out again to all our sponsors. Celebration partner, Royal Ranthambore, powered by Rosa, Herbal Care, style partner, Killer, special partner, Hint, state partners, Gujarat Tourism, Karnataka Tourism, Telangana Tourism, and Uttarakhand Tourism. Associate sponsor, Tata AIG, partner, Sensodyne, official EV partner, Ampere, gifting partners, Kaya, beauty products partner, Grandmother Beauty, Go Green Initiative partner, Ropan, healthcare partner, Fortis, hydration partner, Jal, entertainment partner, PR Entertainment, digital media partners, Daily Hunt and Indixital, social media influencer partner, Exploger. And with that, it's a wrap. Thank you so much for being with us.
promise yourself new beginnings. Discover new places, embrace new experiences, and pursue happiness that goes beyond the bucket list. Traverse the unexplored. Rejuvenate your soul in tranquil nature and chase the thrills that make your heart race. Weave what words cannot describe and savor life one bite at a time. Explore your spiritual self. Dance to the rhythm of culture and witness history that you never knew. Telangana awaits you.
झंझनाहट से जल्द आराम पाएं सेंसोडाइन रैपिड रिलीफ के साथ।
One of India's leading providers of global assistance and travel insurance.